Jacob was on the run, remember? He tricked his father Isaac and made his brother Esau super mad. Esau wanted to hurt him, so Jacob had to leave home fast. He was heading to his uncle Laban's house far away in a place called Haran. One night, tired and alone, Jacob stopped to sleep. He didn't have a bed, just a rock for a pillow. But something amazing happened. Jacob had a dream. In the dream, he saw a giant staircase, or ladder, reaching from earth all the way up to heaven, and angels were going up and down on it. Then God spoke from above. I am the Lord, the God of Abraham and Isaac. I will give this land to you and your children. Your family will grow like the dust of the earth, too many to count. I will be with you wherever you go. When Jacob woke up, he was amazed. Wow, this place is awesome. This is the house of God. He named it Bethel, which means house of God. Jacob promised, if God protects me and brings me back safely, he will be my God, and I'll give him 1/10 of everything I get. In chapter 29, Jacob continued on his journey and finally reached Haran. As he approached a well, he saw shepherds and sheep and asked if they knew Laban. They said, yes, in fact, here comes his daughter, Rachel. Jacob looked up and his heart skipped a beat. Rachel was beautiful, and Jacob fell in love at first sight. He rolled the heavy stone from the well, helped her water her sheep, and then told her who he was. Rachel ran to tell her father, and Laban welcomed Jacob into his home. After a month, Laban said, you shouldn't work for me for free. What do you want as payment? Jacob said, I'll work 7 years for your daughter Rachel. Laban agreed, and the 7 years flew by, because Jacob was in love. But then came the wedding night, and surprise, Laban tricked Jacob and gave him his older daughter, Leah, instead. She wore a veil, so Jacob didn't realize until morning. What have you done? Jacob cried. Laban said, it's our custom to marry the older daughter first, but you can marry Rachel too. Just work another 7 years. So Jacob ended up with 2 wives, Leah and Rachel, and a house full of drama. In chapter 30, now things got wild. Leah could have children, but Rachel couldn't. So the sisters competed to give Jacob sons. Here's how it went. Leah had Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, and a daughter named Dinah. Rachel was jealous and gave Jacob her servant Bilhah. Bilhah had Dan and Naphtali. Leah gave her servant Zilpah, who had Gad and Asher. Then finally, God helped Rachel, and she had a son named Joseph, who will become super important later. That's 12 children already, most of the tribes of Israel. Meanwhile, Jacob kept working for Laban. They made a deal about how to divide the sheep and goats, and thanks to some clever thinking and God's help, Jacob's flock grew huge. Laban's sons got jealous, and Jacob knew it was time to leave. In chapter 31, God said to Jacob, go back home, I will be with you. So Jacob packed up everything, his wives, children, flocks, and left without telling Laban. But Laban found out and chased after him. When he caught up, God appeared to Laban in a dream and said, be careful what you say to Jacob. So instead of fighting, they made peace. Jacob promised not to harm Laban's daughters, and Laban promised not to chase Jacob anymore. They made a stone pile as a witness and said goodbye. Whew. Jacob was free, but someone else was coming. In chapter 32, Jacob was almost home, but he was terrified. Esau was coming to meet him with 400 men. So Jacob prayed, Lord, please protect me. You told me to come back and I'm scared. Please save me from Esau. That night Jacob sent everyone across the river, but he stayed behind alone. Suddenly, a man came and started wrestling with Jacob. They wrestled all night long. Jacob held on tightly, and the man said, "Let me go." But Jacob said, "Not until you bless me." So the man said, "What's your name?" "Jacob." Then the man said, "Your name will no longer be Jacob, but Israel, because you have wrestled with God and with people and have overcome." Jacob realized he had just wrestled with God himself. The sun rose. Jacob limped away, forever changed, not just in name, but in spirit. He was no longer the trickster, but a man who had seen God and was becoming a man of faith and strength.